Alright, we're live, and just some FYI, this stream probably should have happened about 3 separate times before this. First off, even though this is the most recent thing, that I should go chronologically, I just streamed this like 10 minutes ago, and did the whole introduction. I was actually very happy with how it went. I was, said everything I wanted to say, and, it was on private. I don't know how that happened, because it never does that. I think it was because the last stream I privated, but I didn't even go through that way, so it doesn't make any sense. But this package actually came Thursday the 6th, uh, which was a problem because we were on vacation about 150, 60 or so miles away. Um, and I had put a vacation hold on this because it was supposed to originally come sometime like maybe the 2nd, 3rd, 4th of November. But then it got delayed. It didn't actually get picked up until the 4th. Um, yeah. Damn it, I didn't do this last time. Of course I blank out. I didn't get picked up until the 4th, and I put a vacation hold on it when we left on the 5th. From the 5th to the 8th or so, Sunday, because it can't come on Sunday. Um, but they just delivered it on Thursday anyways. Uh, so luckily, my uncle was in town visiting my grandparents, so he and my grandpa went to pick it up. Because it's not something that my grandpa could easily lift. It was 23 pounds. Frankly, I think after what transpired recently, you'll get to hear in a second, he should deserve to lift it, but that's besides the point. Um, so, other news. Vacation was good. Had a good time. Got a couple things I'll show in a second. Um, Turned 19, so that's something. Vacation itself was good. Then we came home. We went to my grandma's first to get the package and Ringo. Got the package. Did not get Ringo because he was missing. My grandpa let him out accidentally, but very easily preventably. Sometime a few hours before we got home. We got home at 2:30, and it's happened about 12. So he went across the main road and into a grassy area by Chase Bank, and this guy, stoned out of his mind, got him, saw him, and took him back to his house, which was the street over from my grandparents, and called us while we were driving home, but it was a different area code, so we didn't answer. And then called us after we looked all around the neighborhood, got a bunch of people to do the same for like 2 hours. I ran around all the green belts and parks, and I can't walk very well. Uh, but he called again at like 4:30 and said, "Hey, I think I have your dog," and he did. Smelled like weed, like really, really strongly, but Ringo's back. Sometimes he comes in to do these. He'll come and sniff around for a sec, but I don't know. Ringo! He usually won't come when you call him. But thankfully he's here, because we were fairly sure we did not have him anymore. Um, Let me show what I got on vacation. It's not all that. We got this spinner. I've got a lot of things like this. It's come from Goodwill. I don't like bees, but I like the spiral part, so I got it. Um, this lava lamp from Spencer's. They didn't take my coupon, and I was very mad, but my dad paid for it since it was his birthday, so I didn't care that much. And then the weird thing, this from Brainy Baby and Start Smarter. This is obviously a thrift store find. Normally, I don't seek out rip-off toys, but if they come to me, if there is a good opportunity to get them, I will not pass. And this is in great condition. Very, very rare. It was $3. So I'm probably gonna sell it. I'll probably get some clips first. I'm gonna try and film on black again, get that set up. I have not had time to yet, obviously. Just got home yesterday. Uh, but I will sell this. I don't know. I kind of doubt it'll go on eBay. I think it'll sell directly, but yeah, it was definitely worth getting because this is very rare. I'm not into Brainy Baby, but I am into Start Smarter, so it works out. Alright, but that is not what we're here for. We're here for the package, and you may notice this is in a Jimmy Dean box, and this is not how it came. Let me explain the story with the package. I'm trying to remember if I did the following thing on this stream or the failed private one, which I still technically have, but I have no reason to unprivate it ever. So the package had 19 things. I ended up opening it last night, but a liquid timer I bought had leaked. If I already said this in the stream, and I'm going on about something you already heard, let me know. I will stop, but I think I did this in the private one and not here. So, liquid timer leaked, and if you've ever had a liquid timer that leaked, you know the smell, the solvent oil smell. And it was that, and it got on many of the things. And this was the liquid timer. This is one I've had for a while, but it's this model with different colors. It's like red and yellow. The liquid was, I think, green and blue. So, not the end of the world, because it was like $5, euros. But very annoying and had to clean some stuff up. The smell is mostly gone now. It's subtle, but I don't really notice it because I've been in here for like an hour. So, sad, but everything else, you know, again, I opened the package before, which I had not done, but circumstances called for it. So, the box had to be thrown away because it smelled bad, and this is a completely random box. This is actually the box we usually take on trips to put all the food in, but this trip we didn't need it. So, everything else in the order generally is pretty solid. Nothing's really broken. Everything came right. It's all good. Alright. So, again, this is the first time in one of these where I have known in advance how everything plays out. And you get to see it too. Alright. We're going to start with these two little naughties. These are reserved unless the person backs out. They're the bee and the mouse, and they are the weird version by Klein. I don't know what their story is, but they just distributed a lot of Lamaze products. They also have different eyes than the actual little naughties. They're not like glass or plastic beaded. They're smaller and fabric sewn on. So, you know, there's little naughty collectors out there. I'm not specifically one of them. I have the BE ones, but I don't really have any desire to have the rest. So, you know, I saw them and reached out to one of them and said, "Hey, you want these?" And they said, "Yeah." So, should just be that. Alright, next we've got... Oh, is that showing? We're going to move that to the back. You didn't see that. We got the Wowie Ball. This is reserved. Solid condition. Not super, super rare. It shows up in weird places. It's not like a traditional, you see it on eBay every once in a while. It's common internationally and then at thrift stores also. And that's kind of it. It's also, there's the Infantino version, there's the Spin Beads Activity Ball, which actually traces back to Blue Box. If you've seen the video, the top 40 previous unfound toys, there's a picture in there of it in box saying Spin Beads Activity Ball by like Baby or something weird. And George had actually looked at that and saw that traced back to Blue Box. So apparently Blue Box, at the very least, distributed it. I have a feeling they might have made it, and that Infantino distributed it, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. This is reserved, good condition, basically the same as mine. I originally got mine from a thrift store, and it was really, really bad. And then I sold it and got a better one from France. Well, yeah, George Banucci has left. The last stream was kind of the breaking point, but just generally, we still talk. He's not gone. He's not dead. He's totally fine. But this has been something he'd kind of put off for a while, and just the general state of the community, the people who get popular, the content that's being made, he's just not happy with it. And of course, the obvious doxing troll that's being fueled by some of this content is the main reason, I would say. But there's a lot of things that go into it, so we as a community have the right to demand and make better content to keep better people in the community. Maybe I'll maybe talk more about that later, but for now, I'll go ahead and spin the beads. Devin, yeah, that's not a wrong statement, but it's not solely because of that, and I wouldn't even say it's like 3/4. I would say it's more like half to 2/3. Because the people that enable him are just as bad, even if the actions they're doing are not as serious. The actions they're doing reach more people than Waluigi because he doesn't have supporters. He doesn't have anyone. There's no one agreeing with him, and he knows that. So that's not like a thing. So if you follow the people who kind of egg him on, give him the publicity, then you can demand better. You can look elsewhere for better content. Because there is still good content being made. And I'm biased. I think I make good content, but there are a lot of other people out there who do as well. No, I do not know who they are, because most of them don't upload very often, but point stands. Alright, so that's the WoW Evolve. And we'll go this. I would say there are two really, really rare, interesting toys in here, and a few other either non-BE toys that are super interesting, or just close BE toys that aren't the ones I always get in orders, but aren't amazing either. I don't watch a ton of BE YouTubers. I don't follow a ton, so I don't feel like I'm incredibly qualified to say. Like, Jackson and Cinder, I haven't really watched your stuff, so I can't say if it's good or bad. I will look at it. But I think good content is just generally positive. And if it's criticizing, it should be constructive and justified. Like the whole, the bad remake streams, everybody knows they're bad. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Just doing it over and over again, a lot of times the same people, just egging them on, just beating them up for not being perfect when they usually haven't done anything actually wrong. Like in the case of Tatum, I wouldn't say he did. It's just not good. I don't support it, and I don't think you should either. It's okay to laugh at them. I've laughed at them too, but, laughing at them and then going to the person who made them and saying, you suck and you're terrible, it's just not good. It's not good. Yeah, remakes are not my favorite. I'm happy with the two I did recently. I'm really, really happy with them, actually, but I don't think I'm going to do anything else. Yeah, it's not. It's kind of prevalent now. Where? Oh, here we go. I was staring and looking for the Rabbit Pavilion Marching Band and asking, oh, where is it? It was right in front of me. Yeah, remakes can be good. There's people doing quality work out there for sure. From what I've watched, and I've watched a lot of them, obviously Crazy Crocs are very consistently good, even if they're maybe not the absolute top of the best ever in the community. He can consistently make extremely good, even if he may not be able to make absolutely perfect. And I think that speaks to just how consistent. And then people like Raiden and Caleb Clancy, Foul the Dog, theirs are pretty good too. What BE video has the most unfound toys? I know it was Noah for a while. Monet has 3, so maybe it's that? I don't know. It also depends on how many you count. Yeah, Donald's are really good too. He puts a lot of effort into them. They may not be my style, but the effort is definitely there, and I can see why people like them as much as they do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Santa, I mean, if we're counting, like, 04s and stuff, that probably is. Oh yeah, I didn't even really get into the end of the marching band, but it doesn't have a string, which is fine. I don't really need a string. Um, there's a few paint markings, but it's not bad at all. This is on all the time, and it's a very good seller. It consistently sells for about 60, 70 or so, so definitely a common thing. I try to have as little of the really standard items in these orders as possible because, frankly, it's boring, and, you know, a lot of Cameron's orders are kind of just these items, and it's like, alright, good, great. It's just not special. They're fine as an accessory because they're solid things, but if they're the main attraction, which in some cases for him they are, it's just not very exciting. And, you know, obviously better can be done, and you're about to see what better is. But yeah, that'll be sold on eBay. I don't think it'll be reserved. I've sold so many of these. It's actually kind of funny. The blocks in Newton are pretty bad. I'd say the Gemini and Van Gogh, because even though the toy's good, there's no red. It's not red at all, and it's in the red music video. Like, at least with the Spiral Comets, you had at least a 50% rate of red, because half of the balls are red, and the red balls are also bigger. But the Gemini just fails at the one thing it's supposed to do, and that's why I think it's the worst. I've kind of thought about doing a Q&A, but this is probably the worst time in the community to do a Q&A. So if you guys want to ask questions here, that's totally fine. You know, I'll try to answer the ones that are reasonable. Also, the ostrich from My Baby Can Talk is unfound. I don't know what that is. Obviously I know what My Baby Can Talk is, but I don't know what ostrich you're talking about. I also don't really care for it. No, Rojo, I've looked, and there's pink and there's orange, but there's not red. I know it's kind of subjective, but there's just not red. Least favorite bee ripoff, I'm gonna go with Mini Pesach, because it's fucking creepy and just awful. I know half of it has to do with the rip itself, but still. Alright, we got Duckwalker. Hello, Nathan. You know what, Jackson? That's a pretty solid idea. I could see that working. Because you've got, like, the carnival theme. I like that idea. Not over the carousel, but if they were to replace it, that would have worked. Anyways, Duckwalker. Got one of these in the UK. It is reserved and about to be shipped out. But I got this one before that one in the UK, and I only got the other one because it was $1. Yeah, the carolers are bad. They are not good. They're ugly. And they also move on some weird purple thing. If you look up Chinuch, Chinuch films, Mini Pesach, you can find it. I think it's also on Corey Hansen's channel, BFan7904. Anyways, Duckwalker, this might go up on eBay, this might not, I'm not sure. If it did, probably be about 50, 60, because it's in good condition, but non-BE, not the rarest, but still pretty good. Ow. Fiber optic butterfly is great. I don't think it's my favorite. I think I'd take like the Venus or Wayne relative to what they replace, but it's a good replacement. Alright. Go ahead and expose Cameron. I mean, there's things you could do. I imagine you won't be doing anything that makes sense, but, yeah, right. The horse stable was, I found it in, like, 2018. Spinning Jenny, I don't think it was ever unfound because the BE website links to it. And, you know, some people probably saw that in 2015 or 16 and got the image from there. So I would say no, because the term unfound was not a thing when that was found. Yeah, I don't really care, to be honest. He kind of brings it on. To an extent, there's a line to be drawn of what's okay and what's not with the trolling, but, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is the parrot from Da Vinci, and I'm so sorry. This was found by, I think, George through Google Lens, and it was on in Poland actually, which is weird. But the listing got taken down, and then a couple were found in like France and Italy. I know Cameron got one of the listings. We probably got ours around the same time, but his just came quicker. But this is it. It's very soft actually. Obviously, it's rare. It was unfound for forever, but it's not all that significant. And it's got a tag, but the tag kind of doesn't mean anything. Importe par M period I period, so MI. I don't know what that is, so I'm not gonna call that the brand because I don't even know if it's a brand. But it's a nice plush. It's good size, nice, solid. Not much else to say. It's not like, oh my god, it's rare, but it's, a kind of a prop. So, it can only be so interesting as far as I'm concerned. But it was still worth getting because it was cheap and obviously not big enough to really weigh the shipping. Yeah, that one's not good. It's like off sync, and the way they film it's just really weird. Yes, they are. Yes, both of you are correct. Although VTG's wasn't really a statement. Alright, here's something weird. This is a rolling snail. And, this is from the same line as the small and large rolling turtle. Now, you may notice the size of this. If I really put the effort into it, I could eat it. Yeah, we all do, but some of you can do something about it to prevent this from happening again, and some of you, no, you're all good. It's fine. George does not care about Roman. Maybe the other Cameron, but even then, it's really a combination. No one person is to blame. But no, he did not care about Roman because it doesn't affect him. So, Cameron Harris, yeah, that was really dumb, but that was a couple years ago. Keep in mind, this same thing that happened now could have happened then. You know what? That is not a bad guess. Also, hi, Danny. Here's the parrot. There's an address on it. It's from Belgium. ZI 5100 Nanine, Belgium. I know I had looked it up because I got a picture from the seller, and I just couldn't really find anything. I'll look into it more later, but I don't think it really means that. I've seen Manhattan Toy products that actually are international, and they usually say Manhattan Toy Europe or Manhattan Toy UK. My guess is this is just like a carnival prize. Like, you go to a carnival and you win this prize and you never think about it again. And they probably got it from like the dollar store or claw machine or something. Don't make fun of it. Yeah, I don't love how that's filmed, but the actual thing is fine. Obviously, it makes sense for a replacement. The lace and stuff in the background is really weird. Or whatever you want to call the gold stuff, but it's not bad. I think in the video we put it around the middle. Oh, I should also mention I have 50 minutes, and I cannot go over that. So this stream is heavily capped at an ending. So for that reason, we need to move along, because we've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Oh, 6. Six things. There are 18 things in this package. There were 19, but the liquid timer has been thrown away. So, big fan of the rolling snail, but I cannot believe how small it is. It's great, though. It's very, very, very good. Okay, Chase, I'm just going to tell you this, and everyone else, do not post that hashtag, because it is not going to help. I can tell you, It's not going to make George feel better. It's not going to make the trolls stop trolling. It's not going to make anything better. I appreciate the effort, and, I'm glad y'all like him, but that is not how that works. Alright, we got, okay, we'll do this. We've got Spinning Sam, and actually, I mean, I don't know if it's ridiculous. I get the thought process, but things like that do not help. Also, his channel is still there, and the videos are unlisted, and you can still watch them, but that's besides the point. So anyway, this is Spinning Sam. I'll just do it backwards because it's easier, and also that's what Newton does. And this actually came from the same seller as the Rolling Snail. Now, I don't know if I would have bought either the Snail or Spinning Sam individually because it was in Belgium, and the Belgium shipping to France is a bit expensive. But both of them together, it was basically the same price as buying either on their own. I've seen people think of that, but I disagree because I just think the mold of it would be common enough to just kind of be made by a bunch of random Chinese companies. I feel like it was probably picked up by another factory who sold it under their own thing that's not the Gialix thing. So I don't think it's custom. I don't think it was color edited. I think it is a real product. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. I can see why people think otherwise, because yes, it is really weird that it's just nowhere. But, yeah. Is that an alternate account, or did you, make a new one? Also, hi. Alright, so Spinning Sam, it's red. Same version, Danny, if you're still here, it's the same version you have. I think the snowman ornament, that's pretty fair. My guess is it's something like, maybe St. Nick's had like a local artist and they made like 50 of them. Like, not mass-produced thousands, but not one copy. That would be my best guess, because I feel like it's just a bit weird that it's nowhere. It looks too good to be, like, made by Julie, because everything looks good, it looks natural, glitter's all in the right spots, but, yeah, okay, alright. Yeah, don't do the hashtag thing. Alright. We got Hammerspiel. Remember when this was... no one had it? Yeah. I do not think Julie made the snowman ornament, and I just explained why. I just think it looks too good, and I don't know why she would have done that. No, because 3D printing is like plastic, and the Infant Sensory Cube is soft plush, so that doesn't make any sense. If I ever got a 3D printer, there are things I could print, but that would not be one of them. But anyways, Hammerspiel. It's the full set. Comes with the packaging, all the shapes, and the nails, and the hammer, and the board. I only got the first one of these a year ago, and I've gotten a few since, so it's definitely gotten down a bit in rarity. This one will probably go on eBay, but I'm not totally sure. It has the instructions. They're very crumpled, but they are there. Yeah, I agree with you. The Robon, I really, really enjoy it. I would definitely agree. I would say this comes in second. So, I'm not going to put it together because I don't care. You've already seen it before. But, yeah, it's all good condition. Oh, it smells like the liquid timer. But honestly, I don't mind it. It's not strong enough. No, because that's nylon. Like, kind of soft. It just wouldn't work. Something like the Spiral Comets is what I would think of first, because that would just be easy to print a bunch of balls and then, figure out the base. But that's a pipe dream. I don't plan to do it. I would probably take the Rock Dice Light over it, but it's really close. Obviously, it's my second favorite toy, because I don't like the mirror ball or the foam shapes more, but... yeah. Okay. We're getting there. Alright, here's something that would have been a lot more impressive 2 years ago. The Wind-Up Whale. Now, if you are in on the secret, you can get this for about $32 with a bunch of other dumb friends. This was found in France. Got a few in France a long time ago, which were the first ones. And then the website was found. But this was on its own. It was very cheap, so I figured it was probably worth it to order. Chase, that's not a bad question. France, Spain, Germany, Italy, UK, and I think that's it. There's a new country coming in about a month. Smash Bros, I kind of like that video. It goes hard, but we're not going to do that on stream. You can watch it on your own. I will, but not here. So, the issue is that it kind of works. By the way, did you guys notice the Easter egg a little bit ago in the chat? I don't know if you noticed it. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to unscrew it and get to the bottom of it or just leave it be, but it only kind of works. It'll go, and then it'll not, and then it'll go, and then it'll not, and then it's just really annoying. Again, still worth it. It's very small. Probably cost me like $5. And I have someone who wants one of them. I still have a set of them with other ones that I was saving for George. But I might just end up selling him this one for less and selling the other person who wanted it, the set, or just the whale from the set. That actually works well. But that's to be seen. I gotta deal with stuff mostly tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna do much for listing today. I gotta pack some stuff up today, though. Alright, let's take a quick break and check the chat. What? What? Okay, go off. I don't want to say this in the chat to protect his identity, but I just got something really funny. That's hilarious, actually. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Nothing serious. It's all good. Nothing. Alright, we got the shape sorting arc, and I actually got this at the exact same time as I got the one from the previous order, but I saved this one because I didn't need two in one order. Pretty good condition, just the most random piece of tape on a spot that's not holding anything together. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry to go completely off script. I don't have script. Sorry to go completely off topic, but there were a few things in this package that I threw away. I made a list of them so I could remember, because I needed to let everyone know. They were a Stitch coloring book that was like 3 pages, actually Lilo and Stitch, and 2 of the pages had fallen out. And a sticker sheet of stock photos of animals, and there were like 4 stickers left out of 20 pages. And a couple Marvel trading cards, and those are all gone now. And I'm sorry for anyone who wanted to see those. But anyways, that's bad. This is not. This has all 4... What? This feels like it wants to come apart. There's a screw in here that actually holds it together. Okay, I didn't know that. I also don't know why. What does it do? Why doesn't it need to be held together? The mechanism for this one is a bit screwed up. Well, is it still? It looks a bit better than it did last night. Yeah, this is a little bit screwed up, so I might end up keeping this one to try and repair it as I sell the other one. Yeah, there's many different versions of this by different companies. This doesn't have any info on it. I always forget it's battery operated because no one cares to have the noise on. I don't want that. You don't want that. But this is the most common version and also the exact, so it's nice. And the 3 of these go down totally fine. This one's just a bit screwed up. So maybe I'll deal with it, maybe I won't. I have other problems to deal with. Yes, I have, actually. It's a bit weird. Maddie Knox, who you probably know by now, has it. There's like 6 videos. They come from Australia. They're on Australia, but they're not very cheap. They're mostly boring, but we found this video of a baby watching it, and it looked so weird, like a weird arts and crafts puppet type thing, and it just struck a chord with me, so I asked her to rip them, and, well, it's been about a year, so maybe 6 months. I'll give her 6 months. But it's been a while, and it has not happened, so. Also, I think someone else asked her to rip them, and it wasn't me, but whatever. Alright, so shape sorting arc is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 2 in 1 order. 7, 8, 9. We are halfway there. Hi, I don't know who you are, but welcome. Also, George Banuki exists. He didn't disappear off the face of the planet. He's still kicking. He just left the community. That's okay. He's all right. You don't need to be worried for his mental health, at least to my knowledge. Okay, I'm going to conceal something. Okay, I hope I concealed that well enough. No need to conceal this, because this is just a regular old happy color. It's in good condition. String still tied, plays the song, no stains, very solid. I think the one that we saw that was weird was shapes, but maybe colors is weird too. Cries? Okay. You may have problems I can't help you with. I think it's Toyland. I'll put it up to the mic. I'll give Brandon Smith the benefit of the doubt until I have reason not to. That's how I see it. Because with people who are severely autistic, more than us who probably have it, it's important to, be nice and not bully them, because usually they aren't doing anything wrong. And in Brandon Smith's case, he's not. He doesn't really know. So, just like Brandon Longwell, it's not worth your time, it's not worth his time. Just don't, Now, the questions can be a lot, but he means no harm. And until the day he does, I will stand by that. I don't think that will change that. Jackson, I'm just going to tell you, there's a butterfly puzzle in here, and it's not reserved, and I'd be happy to sell it to you. But this is not that. These are the pull-along ducks from Neptune, and these are reserved. So, yeah. They're going to Will. Good condition, works well, nothing to say here. Another standard item. I'll end up reordering these by the end of the video. Because big things need to go in the back. Alright, that's good. Day after Christmas is interesting. We've also got the Lamaze stacking rings. Okay, that's fine. Jackson, it'll go on eBay, so if it doesn't sell at a time you get some money and you want to offer, I'll take an offer for sure. And also, these show up on France pretty often, so I can definitely get one for you again in the future, more than likely. Anyways, Lamaze stacking rings. Exact, good condition. All the rings do different things. They're different sizes, even though these two are basically the same size. This one's just thicker. It also looks weird at this part, because there's like weird stitching errors. Yes, you do get the ducks. You're so right. Anyways, that's that. The Vinted image search really helped to find these. I already do. I have offers on almost everything I sell. So, and right now the BE toys I have up are not very expensive. I have Pop-Up Pals and the Spring Mobile's Frog, and they're both $25. So, yeah, Peter Clown is great. I really think it should not be in a remake. And if I know I said, don't bully people for terrible remakes, but I think even Tatum knows that's kind of funny. And you know, it's the type of thing you can probably laugh with him than at him. Yeah, no, I make it a very important thing that all of my items have reasonable prices that have been sold for that before. I always try to go a little bit under the going rate. You are right. It is. Alright, so last seconds. We've got a bunch of dumb shit, frankly. First we've got this Sebastian book. Yeah, I'll pretty much always have offers on. The only times I won't is if I'm doing a bid and I buy it now, because I can't have all three at once. So here's this book about Sebastian the Crab in French, and I didn't want to get it, but I did. And that's... Favorite video, Galileo. Least favorite... First sounds to meet the orchestra. I don't really think about it too much. So that will, I can go back here. Then this Dolphin came with the parrot, and he wouldn't separate, but it was cheap enough to where I didn't care. It's Disle Ave Sandy. There's a picture on the tag, but it's blurry. How do you do that? But anyways, it doesn't matter. It'll go to someone random. If you're watching this video and buying something from here, you may just get the Dolphin. Okay, Chase, that's good, but I did not know that, or I did not base my favorite on his. Rojo, look, I'm not an opinion basher, but I do want to know why, because it's not a good video. It just kind of isn't. Opinions are subjective, but some things are objective, and I think it's objective that First Sounds is not very good. Anyways, we've also got Timeline Inventions with KFC. I don't know where KFC comes in. These are like trading cards or a card game for when things were invented. For example, the Invention du Sablier, which is an hourglass. I've used that search for liquid timers, actually. Yeah, box is a pretty decent favorite to have. I'd probably have like 10. Yeah, the reused footage is why most people don't like it, because it's lazy and doesn't add anything new. So yeah, those are the three things that I kept that suck. The others I threw away. Alright. We've got the most interesting things coming up, but this is not one of them. This is a touch and play teddy bear. Alright, sure. You have your opinion, that's okay. First Sounds has some okay toys, but compared to most videos, they're not all that. Music is really, really boring, because it's like background music, basically. And they reuse some of it anyways. There's just not really anything to love. But anyways, Touch and Play Teddy Bear. I got this before I got mine off Facebook. It does work fine. Bit messy, but it's decent. And it is exact. It does say Jack Specific on the back, which I wasn't sure of, because it was in France, and I figured, oh, maybe it got picked up by a different brand, but no. It also says child guidance, and I don't think my other one does, so that's weird. Alright. So yeah, not too rare. Probably will go on eBay. I don't think it's going to be reserved. To my knowledge, it's not. Alright, thank you. I don't know who Tantum is. But those users are all at least somewhat respectable, so okay. Not too bad. Alright, we've got a few things left. Here's a really weird one. Let me get them out. This is a Batat Pop-Up Animals toy, but it is not the Pop-Up Animals toy. This is, frankly, weird. Yeah, not a Roman fan either, but everyone knows that. So, you've got 4 pieces, and you use the hammer to kill them. It's actually a lot easier to not use the hammer. See, I did this last night after Ringo had just gotten home, and apparently the hammer scared him, so I felt really bad. I just realized this part actually caves in. I was able to get them out with just my hand last night, but it wasn't easy. That makes sense. Does yours do the push-in thing as well? It's because he is... yeah. There we go. That actually really hurt, but it did work. So here's the elephant, looks just like Bach. Here's the giraffe, it looks like nothing. Here's the cat, it doesn't look like anything either. And here's the dog, which also does not really look like anything. Doesn't look like the one on Buck. Now, if anyone is particularly interested in this, I will sell it, but I didn't get to sell. I got it because it's really weird and kind of cool. Obviously, I'll get a clip or 2 of it before I were to sell it, if I do. But for now, I will keep it. It's got the little picture like the Bach does. It doesn't have the door. There aren't supposed to be doors. There aren't doors on this. Yeah, Danny, they're so bad crediting things in the toy chest, and that's where a lot of the unfound or previously unfound toys came from. You got the current ones like the Newton 04 Hammer game, and then the previous ones like, of course, the Dancing Teddy, that's no secret. The Big Rolling Turtle was unfound, but a long time ago, like 2016 is when it was found. So, it was actually found by George just on Nova Natural's site. Some of these are easy to get out, and some of these are not. The middle 2 are easy. The 2 on the corners are kind of a pain. I imagine why this didn't sell well, because it's fucking obnoxious. Also, the hammer works better with the side that doesn't move. It should also really have a spot for the hammer, I think. It should have a little thing on the side that'll hold it. That'd make it a lot better. Okay, yeah, you know what? You have told me that like 5 times and I never added you, so that's kind of fair. I'll do that. Yeah, that was about 8 years ago. So, kind of, but I do remember that. Yeah, Chase, I gotta see what happened. Chase, are you insisting that Jackson go back to, the day he was born or a month after and change his decision making? That's weird. That's not good. Alright, good job, Tracy. Proud of you. Butterfly puzzle. Oh my gosh, there's no pieces! The pieces are in here. They just fell out, by the way. I figured that should be obvious, but just in case. God, it really does smell like the liquid. I hate it. Although I actually hate a lot of things more than that. You don't have to be sorry. No apologies needed. Anyways, butterfly puzzle. Yeah, we've been here before. This is not new information, really. But it's very nice. I gotta start from the bottom. This is the easiest way to do it. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, as you might imagine, this is not actually that hard. That's the wrong way. Alright. there you go. Solid condition. The butterfly puzzle is for sale. Yes, I will have it on eBay. Cameron sold it for like 110. I don't get that. It'll be like 60 or 70. I just don't get the 110 where that comes from. It's not worth that. Brandon Smith telling Dreamy bummer. They are, for sure. Okay, I've got 3 people interested in this so far. Did I put it up for a bid? I don't know. It'll go on eBay. It'll go on eBay. My initial thoughts, based on what I sold this for before, would be 70 plus 10 shipping, but maybe a little less. I don't know. That Toy Chest Inaccuracies slideshow that me and George and actually Koala made a while back really holds up well, even though we updated it. I know Cameron did a video on it. I don't know why, but I'm not mad that he took an idea I kind of had, because it was a good idea. So, props to him for thinking of something good, for a change. Alright, now we've got the 3 most interesting items here. Okay, and does Elmo also love his goldfish if we're talking like that? And his crayons too? Why are we talking in the third person? Yeah. What are we doing? Thank you, Matthew. I don't have it on hand right now. Obviously, I'm kind of busy. But maybe I'll put it in the comments, or if anyone else has it and wants to send it, they can. It's nothing I'm hiding. It's open access. No. What is no to? What's the no to? I don't know. Alright. 3 most interesting things. Here we go. Let me actually move this back a little so it can show better. Brandon Longwell doesn't really talk in the third person that much. Sometimes, but not a ton. What was the no about? Anyways. This is a rotary flashlight. We're not talking about Elmo. Okay, and are you the official enforcer of this? This is really, really weird, and I've seen it one time ever. It is by my favorite company, Nave. And if you remember the Can You Imagine Eclipse Ecstasy light, this is pretty similar to that. But this is a much rarer version, and this one comes with a stand. So this is the box. It was shipped in the box. Box is not in good condition. It smells like the liquid too, so I might toss it, even though I feel bad about it. It says my name on the bottom. That's the right side. Wrong. You do have this barcode on the side. Yeah, that's funny. That's what George said. I don't totally see it, but the vision is there. This isn't from a video. It doesn't have to be. Where is this styrofoam coming from? I don't know. So let's get the actual thing, because I didn't just get the box for it. Fucking Jesus. Okay. I'll do it over here. There are 2 plugs. They're both far, and I wasn't sure which one to use. Technically there are 3, but one's way too far. So I already had a power adapter for this, so not a problem. Just a standard EU power adapter. Come on, it's coming. Alright, so hold on, I gotta get it back on the constraints. Here's what it looks like inside. It's got this light that's not very bright. I don't know how to make it brighter. I actually think I have like a broken ring-shaped light that kind of looks like this, but it wouldn't work. It's also broken. I imagine it's not as bright because of the EU plug. But anyways. So the liquid balance isn't great in this. It kind of just sits at the bottom, but it still moves. The stand is a nice bonus, but this is wall mountable, and for the purposes of storage and space, I'll probably end up mounting it on the wall. It's not super bright, again, which I don't love, but I feel like I could make a workaround. I have a couple lights that could fit inside this and that are like remote controlled. So not the end of the world. This, as you might imagine, was probably like half of the shipping cost, but I'm not mad about it because if I really wanted to, I could sell it for a lot of money. But I don't want to sell this. This is cool as hell. The colors are nice too. The whole mixture of grain is nice. I see a couple of retracted messages in here. I don't know what they said. If anyone remembers, if I should have known what they said, because I wasn't looking. Some real in-depth discussion going on here. The greatest minds of our time coming together. We got 30 viewers. Pretty good. So I'll just let this go for... Well, actually, I will... It's really easy to take off. Alright, we'll go ahead and rotate this. And when you rotate it manually, it works a little better, I would say. But obviously I don't want to have to do that, and I don't think I do. I need to move it down. I forgot the camera's pointing way down. It's a weird sense of humor, but... Alright. It's not offensive. I'll take it. Come on. That's gonna fall off. Okay, there we go. Back on. Alright, now, no more Sesame Street. None. Because we have two really, really important things to get to. I've given these things numbers, 1 and 2. Which one should we start with? Oh, hey, no problem. I'm really glad you got to go there, and I'm glad I could help set it up, because I'm way too far, and, you know, even if we couldn't get pics or anything, I'm really glad you got to have that experience. Can we stop with that? Okay. Alright, 2 seems to be winning, and 3 is not an option. This is number 2. Let me get the fucking tape off. Jesus. What is this? What is this? Does anyone know? I don't. This is not the Dolphins go round. I don't think. Let me move this out of the way so I can get back in the view of the camera. Yeah. So, you've seen Baby Neptune, you've seen the Dolphins go round, and you may notice that it's different colors. Yeah. I don't know where this comes from. It actually came from Germany. But, I don't know what its problem is. Yeah, it's a different variant for sure. But I'm not sure what's up with it. And now this... it was a bit screwed up, because when I first tested it, it didn't really move. So then I tried to fix a bunch of other problems that weren't really problems, but then I actually ended up fixing the problem to an extent. So basically, you put water in this and pour it in here, and there's like a little stopper thing that's supposed to be in here, but I felt like it was impairing it, and it wouldn't really work well. So I just took it out, which required kind of breaking it, but not cosmetically to where it would matter. Because now instead of there being a little thing blocking the water from flowing as fast, which I don't know why you would want, the water just goes in, which is better. And the dolphins are supposed to move on their own, but sometimes they get stuck, like this one. As I rotate the wheel, it gets stuck, and it's really annoying. And I don't totally know how to fix that. There's screws to loosen them, but they don't really do anything. So now when I pour the water in, it'll. I meant to kind of prepare, but I only have 20 or not. No, I don't have 20 minutes. I don't even 20. So we cannot test this now. But basically, when it's completely even and at level, it doesn't work. But if you tilt it a little bit, it works. So I don't know how in the world I'm going to film a clip of this, because I need to have it on the wall with a constant source of water. So the best thing I can think of is our bathtub with the shower head, and it'll be on like a white backsplash clip. So that, I think, is the best I'm going to be able to do. I tested it many times. I actually opened up the hole where the water comes out because it didn't seem like it was getting enough weight from the water to move the wheel, and having more water did make it work a little better. So there's a method to my madness. This is going to be a pain in the ass to film a clip of, but I will try, because this is the business. Here are the suction cups on the back. I can't say when there will be a clip of this. I'm not excited to do it, but I know I want to. And need to. And now the theory comes in of what brand is this from? And I have a guess. If you go on an International Playthings site in like 2003 and go to their preschool products, this is on there. And so is a lot of stuff by Kittyland. And I've seen a lot of Kittyland products with this color scheme. So I believe that this is made by Kittyland, although I cannot prove it. Which to me would make sense because of how many other variants of their products International Playthings sold. It does not explain this, but it may answer a question or two. Again, can't say for sure, but I think it's a very reasonable guess. There's no markings on the back besides for Made in China. So, you know what? I owe it to the fans. I already have some water here. It didn't even work after all that, motherfucker. I have no idea how they filmed it in Neptune. I also don't care that I spilled water because it's water. But yeah, that didn't actually work, unfortunately. I don't know if I have to tilt it this way or that way, but I'm not trying again. Let's... Is there a towel? No. Okay, I'll just leave it be. Good lord. There's not a good way to do this, is there? There actually is. Okay. I'll empty the water out later. The yellow piece, you're supposed to turn it and let the water pass through and then turn it and stop the water from passing through. But that was interfering with me trying to get it to work better, and also doesn't serve a purpose for how I'm going to use it. So I sort of broke it on the inside, but it looks fine from the outside. It was an intentional break. Alright. That's not the best thing here. I have 10 minutes. We gotta go. We gotta go quick. take a moment, because this can only be one thing if I said that this is better than the Dolphins. Have another moment. It's allowed. Alright. We've got a guess. I think it's time. Let's put it in position. Let's get it on an even surface, actually. Here we go. Yes, it is what you think it is. Now, when the Vivi Waves were being sold by that one seller, I eventually got the Spiral Pendulum and Hollow Wheel from him. But during that time, Juanch actually found a picture from Google Lens of one on eBay Italy, but unfortunately it wasn't able to be traced back. This was on Vinted Italy. It was listed pretty badly. It had a couple terms I had searched before, but nothing I would have ever looked up to find it. So this was a sole find of the visual search. And it only worked with one of my pictures. There are a few pictures of this. It only worked with one that I had taken the day I got it. All the others, it wouldn't pull it up. Yeah, actually, fun fact, I think a lot of people want this. That's awesome. Yeah, if you remember the Unfound video, I end it with saying, spread the word, let people know. Hey, looking for this product. If you see it, let me know. And that is the best thing you can do. So, this is both in better and worse condition than mine. Mine has a weird problem where the rails, one of the ends of the rails, just kind of stops it and doesn't go all the way. But the wheel is in a bit better condition. This side isn't bad, but this side has a little gash. And there's no other option but to put this on eBay for a bid. Like, that is the only way to do this. So, I'll probably list it tomorrow because I have some things to do today and I want to get the other stuff out of the way as well. But I also got to figure out which one I'm selling because I don't actually know. But this is the Hollow Wheel, and it was in Italy. There are things from 3 different countries that aren't France in this package. Germany, Italy, and Belgium. So it really was a group effort. This doesn't even have a battery in it right now, and it's still working pretty good. So the auction will start between 75 and 100, if I had to say. I expect the craziest, so I know a lot, that's, I'm not going to call that high for this, that's a joke. That's not dirt cheap to begin with, but if you want it, place a bid. Maybe you won't win, maybe you will, I don't know how high it's going to go, but make your name known because this is going to be a very historic auction. And you do not want to miss it. This is not something that appears every day. It generally appears once every, I don't know what the rate is. Because you had 2014 with that Worth Point listing, then 1.5 in 2022, and then this one. So I don't know. But extremely rare. Obviously, I'm the only person to have it, and as of now, I am still the only person to have it because it's right here. I would have brought my other one down for comparison, but I don't know. Well, I'm sure Cameron could bid if he wasn't in debt from all his orders that aren't very good, but that's too bad. So, personally, I'm rooting for someone like Danny to get it. And I think that might happen. So, I'll probably list this tomorrow. Chance I could get it up today, but I kind of doubt it. 2:18, I have 7 minutes, okay. I have a meeting for school at 2:30. And I need 5 minutes to prepare. It's not that hard. But the best orders have a story behind them. Something that I can remember forever that's, it really impacted my life. And a lot of times the way I can tell that is if they go into my dreams. For example, I really want the Spiral Comets, and I dream about it every so often. And I've had dreams about some of the packages before as well. And this was not an exception. The middle of I got this October 8th. October 8th. It was the last thing to arrive. It took forever. It was really annoying. And the middle of October was not great for me. I was up in the middle of the night a couple times, so I just kind of checked the tracking during the middle of the night, and this has happened with orders before. You know, I have things I begin to associate with them. I've got songs, things I was doing. Maybe it's autism, maybe it's normal, I don't know. But I'm just glad to get this in the hands of someone who's gonna really, really want it. And again, I don't know which one I'm going to keep, if I'm going to put this on my other base. I don't know. A lot of these things will be on eBay in addition to, I would say, the rings, the marching band, the happy color, the touch and play teddy, and the butterfly puzzle. So, I will post when I put the bid up. I might have offers on, just to kind of gauge the offers, but I don't know. I think that's about it. So, future plans. Clips of the stuff that applies. This isn't really a huge clip order because this is a pain and the other stuff isn't really all that. But they will come first on black. I'm going to switch to black and film all my stuff on there first. It was in Italy on Vinted. Listed pretty badly. That's how I got it. I actually have four other orders going on right now, which I'm not super happy with. But they've all got something in them that's very interesting. We've got UK, which the UK order has 14 of one item. You're gonna see why in a month or so. Then we've got Spain, which has one really good thing and one really weird thing. Very early so far. Haven't found a ton, but those things are worth it on their own. Then France, which just has some pretty standard stuff in it so far. And then a Poland order. It's a new one. I found something really, really good at first. Then that got canceled, and I found some other good but not as good stuff. So it's still a good order. It's the closest to being done, and I'll probably get it later in the month. But unfortunately, that really good thing got canceled. But the order is still good, and I'm still glad I'm doing it, so... I'm going to go empty out the water of the dolphins, do what I have to do, and maybe get some of these ready to sell. Thanks to all who attended. I'd say the stream was pretty good, all things considered. And I think that's it.